hey, it's ASAP Flash. With finishing season 3 of Stranger Things this past Saturday, I can say it's a better season than the second one, and I feel like they moved away from the Aiden nostalgia the Duffers had to offer and delivers a great story. Now, typically, I feel like with season 1 and 2, it just felt like there was so much more 80s nostalgia than there was actual story. Not mean to downplay their storytelling efforts or the production or anything. Just felt kind of like there was more of an obvious reference and an obvious what they're doing in the past season versus with this. It was, maybe, in my opinion at least, it didn't feel so in your face and so gratuitous. Like, hey, remember you're watching a show that takes place in '80s. Whereas this one, it felt more like, yeah, there was some subtle references, some subtle parallels, but it didn't feel too much in your face. Well, I guess the Terminator bit, I guess you could count that. You know, what I appreciate this time around is whoever's in charge of casting, didn't take the route of casting a high profile celebrity and kill him off near the end of the season. For instance, um, the cele- the new character that died at the end was Alexei, and he's not too much of a big actor like someone like a Bob who was well known in the nerd community. In fact, I would say the actor that plays Alexei is kind of, you know, I'm not necessarily underrated, but he doesn't have the name recognition. But it's funny because when I look him up on IMDb or Wikipedia, he's actually a British, which is actually pretty talented for a British actor to play an Australian, like I don't remember, it was not Australian, but it was, I'm drawing a blank here. But if someone could comment down below on what it was, that would be great. Thank you. Anyway, my favorite thing about this season is how they separated the characters and basically played mix and match, thus creating an interesting character dynamic between those who have never shared that many scenes with prior, particularly with Dustin and Erica. Typically, like in the past 2 seasons, more or less, uh, they had the four characters together most of the time. Where in this season, it felt like everybody was separated, which it felt may was appropriate because the plot in this season felt a lot more beefier than the last season. Even though I would say that this season kind of repetitive from the last season, like opening up the gate and all that stuff. Um, I guess it could be considered repetitive, but they were building off an idea, you know. Um, which kind of what I was gonna bring up just now. I liked how it's, the going on their own individual spy quests in a group, but I guess it was repetitive, you know. But I do like the aspect of the corrupt mayor, even though technically the idea of a corrupt politician isn't exactly a fresh idea. I like how they played around with it on this season, and I mean, I guess you could argue that Carrie Elwes's character isn't exactly a bad guy, but since he enabled the villain of the season, I guess you could say he is a bad guy. Um, as I mentioned earlier about the characters being separated this season, I kind of felt like it was a subtle foreshadowing on how they move on at the end. Perhaps more actors will join the cast next season, or they'll just find a way back with each other. Only time will tell. My prediction, yeah, they'd probably like how this season was, how like it's all in groups, and they might join in on each other via walkie talkie. They might build up on that idea of walkie talkies. But what gave me a good feeling about season 4 and post credit scene at the end, it confirmed my feelings that we only saw the top layer of what the Russians are planning, and I just hope off it builds off an idea, as I said earlier, and not just recycling something. And how I saw the the Demogorgon kind of like eating up prisoners. That's gonna be like an interesting you know, plot that they could go into. I forgot the freaking word. My bad. That's pretty much what I have on this. I don't know analysis. So please leave a comment down below on what you think of the season and tell me which were your favorite episodes. Anyway, that will be it. I'm out like the Flash, and I'll see you with another video.